This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222. Maybe I'll start by talking about some of the things that I've seen in my clinic this week. The first one of these is the problem that COVID has brought to us. In our inability to undertake international travel, I've had a number of patients, another one this week, seeking donor eggs. Unfortunately, in Australia, because we are unable to reimburse ladies who are prepared to donate eggs, we rarely have a patient, or we rarely have a donor come forward altruistically to donate eggs. So in Australia, the supply of donor eggs is very, very limited. Almost all the ones that occur in Australia that I've been involved in were because they either had a younger sister, a very good friend, and the couple who've advertised, but most of them are people that are known to the needy recipient. So the people who need egg donors are women who've either gone through the menopause at the normal time, which is mid-40s through to 50, or prematurely. And about 1 or 2% of women will have a menopause before the age of 40. And for many women, that means they've missed the boat in terms of having a baby with their own eggs. So the other group who are not menopausal, who seek donor eggs, are women who, in their 40s, going through IVF themselves, have reached a point where the quality of their eggs is clearly not good. And after repeated attempts at IVF, they now are moving on to use a younger woman's egg. So it's certainly biologically feasible for a woman who's been through the menopause to carry a baby. The uterus, with hormone priming, just simply with estrogen and progesterone medications, that uterus is as good as the young woman's uterus in terms of carrying a baby. But obviously, we've got to find eggs of good quality to create the embryo to put inside that uterus. Before lockdown, or before the COVID pandemic, probably I was sending one couple of months internationally to a number of options that have been very successful with my patients producing pregnancies. In South Africa, I've had a number of women have babies. In fact, one lady came back last year before lockdown, pregnant for the second time from an egg donated in South Africa. And at the moment, that's probably the cheapest place to go if you can get there. The other group, who the place that does more egg donation cycles than any other place in the world, is Spain. And again, they're not as expensive as the United States, but they're high quality clinics and, again, high pregnancy rates. They would claim, well, they do claim pregnancy rates of 60% in one embryo transfer. So that's a lot of hope. For a 45-year-old woman who's been doing IVF with a 1% chance, it certainly gives them a better chance. The United States is obviously, there are big markets there, or big clinics there that specialise in donor eggs, but you're paying almost twice as much as going to either South Africa or Spain, with what I believe to be no better results. That's the problem that we have in Australia. Now, a number of clinics, and that includes IVF Australia, have established relationships with egg banks in the United States, and we are able to bring eggs into Australia even though it's locked down. The main problem, however, is again cost. To go through a international egg bank cycle in Australia is going to cost you around 30,000 Australian dollars, with around about a 60% chance of taking home a baby. That means 40% time you will spend $30,000, and not get a baby. So they're difficult conversations to have. There is hope, and as the restrictions lift, it is going to be possible, for instance, to go to Spain almost now. Personally, I'm actually looking at the possibility of going to Spain before Christmas. So it's going to become possible again to go internationally for egg donation.
So the first question is from Catherine. She says, my sister is struggling with low reserve and other issues. She's going through IVF with one follicle, one on hand, have had 6 pregnancies, fell naturally at 40 and then 42. Would you attempt to investigate if I could donate my eggs to her given my history?
Okay, I mean, certainly we would be able to investigate it. Now, the issues are her age, and I'm not quite sure from that what
Actually, she did share her age. She said 46.
Yeah, there's no point. Problem is that at 46, even though we might get an egg from you, its chances of producing a normal pregnancy, one with a genetic normal makeup, is about 2%. The odds of getting more than 1 or 2 eggs from you is very, very low. That's the first hurdle. But even if we do get eggs, there's a 98% chance that any embryo that's created will be genetically abnormal. So I'm sorry, I don't think you're going to be able to help your sister as much as you would like to.
The next question is from Kirby. Hi, doctor. I've just had both my fallopian tubes removed 2 weeks ago as I had a bilateral hydrosalpinx.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you think our chances are to fall pregnant via IVF. My partner has a great sperm count and I have no other issues in regards to hormones or AMH levels, etc. I'm 31 years old and plan to start the process early in 2022. Thanks in advance.
I'd love to see you. You're going to get pregnant. You're the right age. Having had your tubes taken out, those hydrosalpinges taken out, you've actually improved your pregnancy chances. That those tubes or those swollen tubes, the hydrosalpinges, actually reduce pregnancy rates by 50%. So had I seen you and seen those, I would have been recommending that you take them out before we move to IVF. So in our clinic at 31 with great sperm, I would be saying that you have a 35 to 40% chance every time we try to transfer an embryo. And in you, I would expect to be getting 2 or 3 embryos at each IVF attempt. So from one egg collection, a better than 75% chance of having a baby. So yes, find a good IVF clinic. And, as I say, you're the sort of patient I'd love to treat.
And don't forget that you can access all the previous episodes by going to our website, www.theivfjourney.com, and select IVF Journey podcast from the navigation menu.